guys, welcome back to Blast Man Cubing. Today, I will be showing you how to solve the Square-1. So, a lot of you have seen the standard 3x3 cube. That's just a normal twisty puzzle. But what most cubers haven't really seen is the Square-1, which is a puzzle that can shape shift. But when the cubers see how it is scrambled, they really start to get intimidated. But today I'll be showing you a really easy way to solve it. Let's get started. Before we begin, I'd like to show you notation. Notation is basically the way you turn the cube. So, because instead of doing R, L, U, U2, U prime, you use digits, like numbers, and slice moves, which is represented by a slash. So, the algorithm, so notation is going to be something that you'll use a lot. And Square-1 notation is a little different, and by a little I mean a whole lot different than 3x3, so just bear with me on this. Notation based for top side, well, notation is a set of two numbers side by side, kind of like a coordinate, except it's different. So with this, a 1, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. With 1, you just move it by one piece, which would be this corner right here. So that will be 1. A 2, 1, 2, that will leave the cube unaligned. But so to do a full 90-degree turn, you do a 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you'll be able to slice. So each edge piece, which is this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece, are all worth 1. But the corners, this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece, are all worth 2. So whenever I want to do like a 4, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Basically, that would work the same thing on the other side, except you go the opposite way. So you start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that would be a full 180-degree turn. And then, of course, slice moves are represented by a slash. So that isn't really too hard to understand, but let's get to the tutorial. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make cube shape. And as you can see, you might be thinking, Blastman, this is crazy. How can I make a cube out of this? Well, it looks hard at first, but what you're going to want to do is pair up all your edges. And this can be done pretty intuitively. So, I have 2 edges paired here and 2 edges paired here. Slice pairs 4 of them up, and I'm trying to pair I got these 2, but these 2 are going to be separate, but that's okay. So I'm going to pair them up. See how these 6 are all paired. Wait, yeah, it's 6. And then I'll take these 2 edges and make sure they're touching these 2, giving us this circular shape. And this shape, I just like calling it the Millennium Falcon, because look, that kind of does look like the Millennium Falcon. But sometimes you won't get a case like that. This cube likes to lock up. And sometimes you'll get a case like this, where not all but one edge is paired up. So how do you do this? Is make sure one edge from this whole circle is past the slice layer. So you're going to do slash 1, 2, well, -2, because you're going the opposite direction, counterclockwise, slash 0, 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, slash 1, 2, slash, and then you're good. Then to make cube shape, you're going to want to have these two corners up in the front. You're going to do a slice move. Move the top layer clockwise by 2 units. And make sure these two corners are in front. And do the same with the bottom side. So that way both sides look like this, just flipped. Then you're going to want to do a slash. Well, actually, first, this is known as scallop. Slash, then it's barrel. Do with the bottom side, turn it 1 unit counterclockwise. With the top side, turn it 2 units counterclockwise. Do a slash. Then this is kite. Then with the bottom layer, turn it with 3 units clockwise. Same with the top. And then you're going to want to do a slash. And you should have cube shape, but you don't have to worry about this. We will only worry about this middle layer until the end of the solve, but that's cube shape. Next up is orientation of edges and corners. We're going to start off with corners because corners are easier to do. What you're going to want to do is make sure that black or yellow is on the top if you're following a Rubik's Cube color scheme. And what you're going to want to do is pair up 2 edge pairs, which this can also be done. It's just a little complicated. So, basically, you're going to want to take whatever edge is unpaired. This edge has no pair. Well, I mean, corner. And this one doesn't. So, since this one's at the bottom right, this one needs to be at the top left. You're going to want to turn it 1 unit clockwise. Do a slice. Then turn it 3 units counterclockwise. Then do another slice. Then these two should be paired up. And then you're going to want to make sure these 2 edges are on the left. And do a slice. And you should have all your corners oriented. But that is not the only case you could come across. You could end up coming across a case that's like this, where 2 edges are like this, 2 edges are adjacent, and 2 edges are next to each other. And this can be solved pretty intuitively as well. What you're going to want to do is take this, do a slice, and bring it up. Make sure this is in the bottom left corner. Make sure this piece right here is in the top right. Slash. Then they should be paired up. Then you'll make sure these 2 are on the right side, because these are on the left. Do a slash, and they should be solved. That's corner orientation. Next up is edge orientation, and edge orientation is a little bit more complicated, but these are where we are going to be learning our first set of algs. So, I'll put the algorithms in the description. but I'll also have them at the bottom or top. It just depends on how my editors put it. But what you're going to want to do for this is these two are next to each other, and these two are next to each other. You're going to want to make sure these two are in the bottom right. Make sure these two are in the top right. And we're going to do this algorithm slash 3 slash -3 3 slash -3 and slash. And you should get this case where all edges are adjacent across from each other. And this is pretty easy. 1 slash -1 -1 slash 0 -1. And that is edge orientation. There are also some other cases you might get, which I'm going to try my absolute best to explain. And I'm going to try and get them for you. It's kind of hard. Alright, so this is one of the cases you could get. Basically, you're going to want to keep these at the bottom right and keep these how they are. Do one of the algorithms we learned. Slash 3 slash -3 -3 slash 0 -3 slash. Then that'll give you the same case I showed you earlier. Same with this one. And that'll work as well. And then, let me try and get the other owls. And then there's also this case you will get. You're going to want to make sure this piece is at the top, and this piece is at the right. Actually, I think it might be at the top as well. No, it's at the right. Then do 1 slash -1 -1 slash then -1. Then do slash 3 slash -3 -3 slash 0 -3 slash. That will give you the same case we learned before. Same with that one, and you're pretty much all done with orientation of corners and edges. Now it's on to permutation of both layers. And we're going to be learning a couple more algorithms, not too hard, but we're going to start with these two bottom ones. Whenever these two are paired together, it's pretty simple. You're just going to want to do slash 3 slash -3 slash 3 slash -3 slash. And they should be all paired up together. And this alg is pretty fast to execute. But with the top layer, we're going to want to make sure that our two unsolved corners, we got to make sure our corners don't get affected too much. So we're just going to do it from any random angle as long as it doesn't solve. And it's the same algorithm, except we're going to do -3 3 on the bottom layer. So slash -3 slash 3 slash -3 slash 3 slash. And then bring these two should be solved. Bring them to the left and do that same algorithm. And that is permutation of corners. And those are pretty easy, but whenever we get to the final layers, they can really be stupidly nasty. because in this cube, there's something called parity, where the cube is in an unsolvable state, and you can't solve the cube, but luckily there is a parity algorithm, but I haven't bothered learning because it's so stinking long. So, I will show you an easier way that might take a bit longer, but it'll really help out. But with the edges, it's pretty much easy. You do same algorithm. So like, I'm just going to do it with the bottom layer, for example. So /3/-3/3/3/. But you're going to want to do only by 1 on the bottom layer and do that same algorithm again and bring it back. And it is done a cycle with these 3 edges. You only have to do that 2 times, so that's a bonus. Same with the top layer. You just do the same algorithm. Move it by 1 unit. And then move it back. And you might have to do that a couple of times until you get into an optimal position. But if you have parity on this side and parity on this side, it is actually a solvable. If you get parity here and here, this is actually a solvable case. You're just going to want to make sure these 2 are in the bottom left. Make sure these 2 are in the top right. Do a slash, and then you're going to want to do the algorithm I just showed you earlier. And then we're going to do that again. And the cube should be solved. These 2 layers should be solved. But with the equator line, we're going to want to do, we're just going to do basically the same algorithm you would for 3/3/6/6/6. And the cube should be solved. But there is also a minor, great chance you'll get parity, which really sucks on this cube because most people don't know how to treat it. Well, I gotta solve this real quick. Like, solve the bottom layer, that way I can show y'all. So now we have this crazy looking case, and this is parity. What you're going to want to do is make kite kite, make barrel barrel, make scallop scallop. Make sure both these corners right here have white. Slash. Then undo all of that using the way I showed you way at the beginning of the video. And then that will guarantee you don't have parity. You'll just have to do the whole, you'll just have to finish all that. And yeah, that's pretty much how to solve Square-1. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, that way you don't miss future content. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Happy cubing!